Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt
And
Roast.
I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
This is our Survivor 49 Episode 4 reaction and review. Now, to quote the often great, or at least great in this episode, Jeff Probst, this is how you do it on Survivor. Best episode of the season, and it is not
Ah,
even close.
well, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, the
I
first
know.
few episodes have been a little bit of a slow start, but we're ramping up.
It feels like we have been on the island for a while and Jeff brought us a burger, and because we haven't had a protein like that in a while, we just feel so satisfied.
At least he didn't bring us some fruit. Like, what's going on with that? That comment of like, wah wah, it's fruit. I eat that on a diet. What? Wow.
Okay.
It felt, I don't know, man.
I find it hilarious that Sophie with the knee has had 5 seconds of airtime this season. She had one confessional earlier this season that I've already forgotten about, and now here she is complaining about the fruit on a reward challenge.
Yeah, I mean, fruit's really delicious. Like, I get it that that's not what you were hoping for, but it's better than what you've been eating. It was crazy to see that complaint come
Yeah.
in. I was just like, oh my goodness, you must be doing quite well on this tribe if at this point you're complaining about food coming in. Because we've seen some pretty bad food come in that is
Yes.
not fresh fruit that's going to give you energy and make you feel better. We've seen just like cheese roll ups and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Like, this is it.
I'm of two minds here. One, if I was in Sophie with the knees shoes, I would not say this in a million years. Two, I also appreciate that she did say this because I'm too tired of the herd mentality where Probst just tells people to do whatever he wants, like the whole infamous let's all chant chicken and waffles before a start of a challenge from not that long ago.
For entertainment, very exciting to see her say that.
Yes.
From just kind of like being grateful for having someone giving you food when you have no food, 0 out of 10 on
Yeah,
that.
like, this is what's great though about this episode is that I mean we have a lot of really interesting game related stuff to talk about. We have,
Yes.
people playing really well, people playing really badly, but then we just have all these little character moments as well
Mhm.
that I think help a lot of these players to stand out a little bit more. And I know in
Mhm.
general there's one person we are both much more excited about coming out of this episode.
Jason, I'm
I
kidding.
was about to say
Sophie, Sophie,
Sophie,
Sophie.
Sophie.
No, she's so great. And I mean, she's been playing very well this whole time. She's really found ways to position herself, even on a tribe that's been losing as much
I
as the blue
know.
tribe. But man, she really just was shining in this episode.
Okay, we have so much to get into from episode 4. And before we do, be sure to hit that subscribe button
Mhm.
because we will be here talking Survivor 49 all season long, having a great time hearing what you guys are saying in the comments as well. And beyond just Survivor,
Yep.
we're in the midst of the amazing race, which is featuring its Big Brother players, their loved ones. This is a very busy day for reality TV, and we
Mhm.
really appreciate your guys' support.
Yeah, we really do. Thank you so much. And also, it was just Matt's birthday. We have some
Yes.
pictures up on our Instagram of the celebration. If you want to head over to Matt and Just TV and follow us over there, we'd be really thankful.
So thank you guys for doing that. Like that is a very sweet
Yeah.
birthday gift from me. Okay, let's just get to the tribe swap here because we're going to talk about our shared love of Sophie, and
Yes.
she is on the new Hina Yellow tribe alongside Rizzo, Jawan, Nate,
Mhm.
Savannah, Matt, and Jason.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how it was going to go for her because she is the only person from the blue tribe there. And you do have like another 4 and 2. At that point, she could have gone in either direction. But I think she made the absolute right choice, being like, you know what? I'm going to go with the numbers. I'm going to basically convince that I'm this lost puppy that needs to be adopted. I'm no threat to anyone. You can use me as a number to help get these other other two out, and they bought it, all of them. By the time they got to tribal, they were repeating exactly what she had sold, that it was just like, oh, she's this lost puppy and we've adopted her. I'm like, ooh, that's really interesting that she was able to like say specific words and they were mirroring them at tribal, where they were saying openly, we have brought her in, we have adopted her in front of other players.
So there is this long-standing tradition on Survivor where people who are on these terrible tribes at the start of the season
Yes.
somehow they do make it fairly far. I
Yeah.
know Malcolm and Denise are the most famous examples of this, and there is a little bit of Denise, I think, in how Sophie plays,
Hmm.
where she's a great communicator.
Yeah.
I think she comes across as very, very likable, but I think above all else, she listens really well. And if
Hmm.
you're coming into a situation where there are all these new people, I think the best thing you can do in this situation is pick up on the energy that is around you. And you have a lot of people from the former Uli Red tribe who are reaching out to her. They see something in her. Some of it is, I think, her personality.
Hmm.
The other part of this is that there has been this Uli Hina rivalry for a little while.
They also feel sorry for her, which is something that she has played up. That she was
Yes.
just kind of like, I was on this losing tribe. Oh man, I'm just so thankful to be here with you guys. I'm so thankful to have fire and food and, all of you guys sharing all this stuff. Like, this is so amazing to me. I've had none of this. Please adopt me. Like, it's incredible the way that she has been able to touch each person in that way, in this bigger alliance that she wants to be part of. And I think her best move out of all of that was with Savannah, where she went and actually told what happened with Alex and that idol, where originally she was like, yeah, I won't say anything. Yeah, but I'm going to say something to Savannah because I need to build that trust with her. And it worked.
Sophie with an I. The I is for incredible because this was such an incredible, like, really, really smart on so many levels. So, okay. Number one, she's able to pick up pretty fast here that Savannah is someone who values information a lot in the
Yes.
game. Like, she's a pretty strategic mind. We've seen that through the first few episodes here. Sophie's able to clock, okay, this is something that she is really going to appreciate. She
Yeah.
is someone who then is going to go and probably talk more with her allies, really hype me up as a player. They form an almost instant bond because of this. And
Hmm.
I know that there can be a little bit of a risk going into a swap and you're joining this bigger group that, okay, you're automatically going to be last place in the group. And there's always a chance of that. You never know. But at the same time, doing things like this that are just quick little ways to prove trust, that moves you up the leaderboard so much more than just, hey, I want to work with you. I like you. It's like actual info.
Absolutely. She made herself look like not a threat, someone that people wanted to help and wanted to be around. And then she gave actual information, which is a big swing, but she took that swing and it really paid off.
Yeah, it did. Okay, well, there's a lot of other people to talk through in this whole post swap game on this tribe. But
Hmm.
first and foremost, thank you, Survivor, for only swapping into two tribes. It's just like, this is
I
what we
know.
have wanted this so much. And I know a lot of you in the comments said this past episode
Hmm.
as well. It's just because we had these two tribes, we were able to see like all three groups mix a little bit, and we got
Yeah.
these number situations, and it put players like Sophie in a spot where she had to kind of figure out which side she wanted to go with. And
Hmm.
obviously, the former Uli Red Tribe people, they just did a much better job of welcoming her.
Absolutely. And that's where the numbers are. So for me, I think she just went into the right place. Like, yeah, maybe she's at the bottom of that four group right now, but it's only right now, right? Like, she is building a relationship with Savannah, and now she's, part of this five, but she has a chance to be able to either move up in that, or once the merge comes, there will be more people for her to be able to maneuver around. It keeps her safe for a few more weeks, hopefully.
And this is where we really get into the good move or bad move discussion from this episode, because we're both in agreement that Sophie made a really, really good move in going with these people. They gave
Yes.
her all the information that she needed. But then we get into this position, both at Tribal and leading up to it, where we have these two former Hina tribe members in Jason and Matt, and they're clearly on the outs of the numbers. Matt comes up with this idea, this scheme of, okay, I'm going to try to go to Jawan because I know Jawan kind of sort of seems on the outs with this group. Maybe I can bring him over. Maybe we can get Sophi, and then maybe we can find a way to take out Nate here.
Okay, I'm gonna say bad move, Matt. I just feel like you've been there for 24 hours. You don't really know what that group is about. You don't know if he's really on the bottom of that alliance. He is, but that doesn't mean that they're actually going to cut him unless they really need to. And if that four, now five with Sophi, are able to go a lot further, then Jawan's fine. He's not actually going to be going anywhere. The real move for Matt was to just throw Jason under the bus, hand him the bus schedule, anyone but me. He kept saying it over and over and over again. I get it, anyone but you. If that's the case, then making a big move with people that you have only known for 24 hours, but you know that it's between you and Jason, then make it be Jason.
Okay, so in the game of Survivor, there are ideas, and then there are finding a way to properly pull these ideas into reality.
Yeah.
So for the idea that Matt has here, I will give him an A because I really appreciate, okay, you know what? I'm not in a good spot. I'm going to try to pull something off. I am always going to applaud somebody for trying to take their game into their own hands. And that's why, as sad as I am that Matt is voted off in this episode, like I really appreciate what he tried to do, and he brought entertainment. All of that is great. Now we get into the actually carrying out this idea, and this is where we get into like the D or D minus territory, because okay, let's say Matt wants to pull this idea off. He wants to get Jawan on board. He wants to get Sophi with an eye on board, and they're going to get rid of Nate.
Right.
You have to go and pull this off at the very, very start, like immediately after the tribe swap. You have to get to Sophi before the Uli people do. Like, you really have to make that connection, because at that point, after the immunity challenge, it doesn't really matter if Jawan feels like going with you is a good idea or not, because he's not going to do it unless he knows that Sophi is fully on board with this idea, because there's no point in sticking your neck out if you're Jawan, if you're just going to get egg on your face and then you're going to be in even more trouble after the fact.
Yeah, and the fact that Jawan had this disadvantage that he did use to, help his tribe in the first place, even if he's at the bottom of that alliance, he is still a part of that alliance. And he's willing to give up an actual advantage for himself to give this advantage to his whole team. That tells me that Jawan's not on the table for negotiation at all. And everybody was there when that all came out at the challenge. So if you know this information, he's not the person to go to. He might be the person to get out instead. You might be able to get the rest of the tribe against him. But really, I just think Matt's only move was to get out Jason. This just wasn't the time. He didn't spend enough time with Sophi at all. The fact that when they were at Tribal and you had them being like, yeah, the four of us, we've adopted Sophi. And Matt's like, well, I didn't know that. Well, that's because you didn't spend enough time with Sophi. You didn't put any time into her in a way that you would have known that.
He put himself in a position where his plan was ultimately never going to work. And I am
Never.
glad that he tried it, but it's still...
But I'm glad that Nate is still here.
I am glad that Nate is still here, because it feels like Nate's going to be a potential power player in this game. And if you are Jawan, yes, you do need to turn on your former tribe members at some point. I think it's fine to think about it, but it's just, yeah, now's not the time. It's like you said with Sophi. You can wait for a little while. You can kind of actively think about maybe around the merge, right before the merge, depending on where the numbers are at that point. Like, you know where you stand there, but there's no point in making them mad when it's not actually going to help you.
I also love that Nate is really what you see is what you get. That's my type of guy. I work in information, and I work very well with people who are just going to be straight up with me. And man, he was really straight up at Tribal, where he was just like, yeah, my name was brought back to me, that this is what was going on. Matt, you were running the bus over other people. No, I wasn't. I said anybody but me. That's right. You were running the bus over for people. I like Nate so much.
Nate's just really, really likable. Like, he's probably, at this point, my second favorite person on this trial. Like, Sophie is playing an amazing game. She deserves all the props.
I love Sophie.
I still can't get over how much I enjoy watching Savannah, who I feel like is
Same.
going to stab every other person in the back. Also, Savannah, I love the sweater that you're wearing in the I'm sure you're watching, but it looks so cozy. It also feels like it would kind of be a little bit itchy out there, if I'm being honest. But
Hey, some people really like those itchy wool sweaters.
yeah, yeah, but Nate's in a really interesting spot. He's got really good allies on his side.
Yep.
Now, here's a big question, though, that I think we should all ponder. Was this actually the right move, getting rid of Matt over Jason? Because here's the thing. I would have gotten rid of Jason. Number one, he's just not any fun. And I hate to say this because I was really high on him in the first few episodes, but this whole I'm really loyal to my other tribe, you know, you guys can get in good with the other tribe with me. Shut up. They're not your tribe anymore.
Yeah, I was really high on Jason as well, but him saying that was such a weird move. Like, I understand he's just kind of like, oh, I'm just going to get on by until, the merge and I can be back with my tribe again. It's kind of
Yeah.
like a lot happens in between now and the merge. It may not be together anymore. You don't know what's
Yes.
going to be going on, and you have to make it there. So you have to work with the people that you are working with. It almost feels like he really had vibes with that tribe. Like, they were the tribe of, we are all working together and we are all doing it together and everything is great. I would not have gotten rid of Jason. I still would have gotten rid of Matt, because Matt is out here scheming. And I am not interested in someone who is scheming, because if he's playing the Sandra game of anybody but me, I am not interested in that. I don't want somebody who's going to be doing that, because then that means it's going to be me. However, with Jason, he's a great puzzle master. I need him to be there. Every single challenge has a puzzle. So let's go.
What you're hearing here is a great example of why I like talking about Survivor. I would be bad at Survivor because the biggest.
Disagree.
Here's the big.
I would be bad at Survivor.
Okay, we could
because
argue
I
over
don't-
this, but
because I don't want to sleep on the ground and I need food. I can't.
Well,
I'm just like in my couch era.
I wanted Matt to stay because he was going to be more chaotic and he was going to be more entertaining, and I appreciate
yes.
the effort. The problem with trying to keep Matt at this point is that because he went after Nate in such a public way and Nate knew
Yep.
about it, I feel like if the rest of the tribe got rid of Jason instead, Nate would probably be very upset with that.
Yep.
And that's probably why you can't do it. It's just that I just disliked everything that Jason did in this episode.
Yes.
For somebody who is good at puzzles and that requires a lot of thinking, it's just like, why did you not think more about what you were going to say? Clearly, you didn't know that you were on the bottom of your former tribe. Like, you weren't somebody in a power position there at all.
No, and that does then, put a feather in the cap to the rest of that tribe, that they made him feel that comfortable and that loved and that secure, that he is willing to burn his own game to say to his new tribe, yeah, I'll just wait it out till I can get back to my other tribe. I'm not really here to work with any of you guys. I'm just waiting to get back to them. It just tells me that they did an excellent job of making him feel like he's part of something.
And now he's done an excellent job at making him so easily expendable for this tribe.
Absolutely. He does need to go at this point. However,
Yeah.
he is the puzzle master, and because there's always a puzzle at the end of these challenges, he's the person to keep, because it keeps you in the game longer.
Okay, so we have a couple of things here to point out at this tribal council before we go over to the new Kelly tribe. I just want to first and foremost give a shout out to, once again, our newly beloved Sophie with an I, who goes up, casts her vote, and starts chanting Hina in front of the camera, which I thought was really, really funny.
She's so funny. She's so charismatic. She's so social and smart.
Yeah.
Man, she is absolutely at the top of my list. I love her.
Okay, so Nate went up there and he wrote down the name in his comic book lettering, which was really cool. This isn't the
That
first
was
time
cool.
we've seen this, but I'll give a little bit of insight. And for the one episode of Survivor that I would technically play before I'm voted out,
Mhm.
I've thought about this. I don't know why. I would write like little poems, little limericks on the, I can't even talk, on the parchment. I feel like the entire cast would hate me because I would be taking so long. And I actually wondered that with Nate too. It's like, how long are you taking to vote? Are you holding up the process here?
Yeah, he might be, but I mean, it looked cool.
It did look really, really cool.
It's worth the wait.
All right, so we have everything at this newly chaotic Hina tribe. Also, congratulations, Rizzo. You no longer have to worry about not having a vote. Your idol is legit now.
Absolutely. And it was cool to see that they were still all working together to actually make sure that he got his vote back.
Okay, Rizzo. Not only have you given yourself a nickname, you're also spelling your nickname to us at this point as well.
Okay. Here's the thing about
I
it.
really am interested in this.
No, I definitely am too old for this. I really am when it comes to stuff like this, but I understand why he's doing it. We've seen it on a ton of other reality shows, and Harry Jowsey from I know Too Hot to Handle actually like explained a bit of this on a podcast a while ago of some of the catchphrases that he was putting together, and that it was something that his manager had told him to do to make sure that when he was on the show that he had very specific catchphrases that whether they were annoying or not, and they were annoying,
yes.
that they would stick with people, and that would be the thing that would make him stand out of the whole crowd. And it absolutely worked. And we've seen it so many times on so many shows that now when I see him being like, I'm the Riz God, it's easy, I'm like, okay, I know what's happening here. I don't know if you have somebody who's told you to do this or if you've just seen it work so many times on shows, and it is going to work for him.
I'm just too old for this, and I'm also
I am too old for it, but I know why he's doing it, and I know that it works.
Before I start thinking about Harry Jowsey on Survivor as some sort of sleep paralysis demon, let's just go ahead and talk about the new Kelly tribe, the no longer cursed Kelly tribe.
Yeah.
Alex gets his first win of the season.
Let's go, Alex! Okay. I really like Alex.
I love him. Okay, he did something in this episode. It was really small, but really, really effective.
Yeah.
Probst is making this out to be a huge deal that he's won immunity, and he turns to his tribe, and he's just like, this is all of us. He immediately doesn't make the moment about himself. He makes it about that. That is just a small, really, really nice thing to do.
It is. I just like him so much. Like, I'm sorry that Jake and the snake and all that stuff that happened.
Yeah.
But Alex on his own, I love him. He was getting overshadowed by everything with Jake. Jake is gone now. Sophie lost her shoe in the ocean. It's, commemorative to Jake and the shoe bandit. But Alex, man, he is really shining now that he's not part of a duo anymore.
Okay, so he is on this new tribe with Steven, MC, Christina, Sophie with the IE, the fruit-hating Sophie, Sage, and then Shannon. And I'm just going to say, I am so far out on Shannon at this point. I do not need any more, let's sit down and have meditation circles. I'm sorry.
No, I don't want that either. And it's fine. It's fine if you want to do that, and anyone who wants to participate can participate.
Yeah.
But it feels very much like everyone feels like they have to participate or they're cast out of something. This is Survivor, right? So there's a heavy social aspect to this back at camp. If you're the person who's like, you know what, I'd rather not participate. I think maybe I'm going to go fishing, or I'm going to fix up, our, base, our hut, whatever. I'm going to keep the fire going. Then you're putting a target on your back by not participating in something that is meditation, could be spiritual, and you can't really force that on other people.
No, I think Steven really called it out in a really smart way in this episode and sort of talking about, I have my eye on this person. I kind of have a sense of what she's doing. This tribe, though, is so weird because there's just a lot of people who are really under-edited, and I don't know if that's just because the other tribe has people like Savannah, who's a confessional superstar. They went the tribal. It's just that people like Sophie with an IE, who is basically a ghost. We had Christina, and this is the first time I've seen Christina really talk ever since the premiere.
Yeah, and even Shannon, there hasn't been that much of her when Jeff's like, oh, and over in this tribe is this person, this person, this person. And Shannon, I'm like, who is Shannon? It's 4 episodes in. I should have had more confessionals with her at this point to be like, okay, Shannon.
Either this tribe is just not going to lose anytime soon and they're saving all the screen time until, I don't know, the merge or later on, or it's just that the producers have just fallen so in love with the other tribe that we're only going to get footage of these people when they actually do something compelling.
Yeah, or maybe they just aren't really playing that hard because, a lot of them have been winning and they haven't had to do anything yet.
No, and that may be the case. And that is kind of the weird thing about this season. We're entering episode 5 now, and there's still so many people who have yet to even go to tribal
Yes,
council.
yes.
Okay, now as we start to wind down this video, it is time for our weekly edition of Jeff Probst. Why did you do that?
Beep, 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 beep,
Oh,
beep,
right.
beep, beep. Okay.
I'm channeling Savannah. This just in. So Jeff Probst at the immunity challenge, at the end of it, he turns to Sophie with an eye and he says, "The song remains the same."
Mhm.
How do you, that is so mean to do that.
I
She's
know.
basically just like, Sophie, you're just going to keep losing. Nothing is ever going to change for you.
I know. Listen, there are things that Jeff does that just bother me so much, and sort of interjecting into people's mental state in this game is one of those things, because that is something that
Yeah.
could have really sent her spiraling down if she was in a different position.
Yeah, and that's why we started this video with praising Sophie, and I think we have to end it with more praise because it's just going through what she's gone through over these past few
Yes, that
episodes.
could have really ruined her.
Yeah, and especially losing again. I would be in a fetal position crying in the ocean at this point, feeling like,
Looking for my shoe.
yes, because it's like nothing is ever going to go right for me, but she is sticking in there, and that just takes a lot of mental fortitude. I hope very good things for the rest of the season for you.
Absolutely. I love Sophie. She is great TV.
Okay, well, let's just turn this over to you guys. What did you think about this episode? Did you appreciate Matt's move but hated the timing of it? Who are you rooting for? Share all that in the comments.
Mhm.
Hit that subscribe button. And if you guys do want to support us further, be sure to join our Patreon. We have a link in the description below for that.
Mhm.
And thank you so much to our patrons for your support. It means the world
Thank
to
you.
us. We will see you here next time.